Hello friends, this is Roxanne, and today, I'm going to recap the fourth part of the anime called, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Demon King Diablo manages to pull Horn off the river. He lights the fire to warm Horn since they are both drenched. Diablo realizes that they are all men and nothing to be ashamed of if he undresses Horn to warm him. He took off Horn's clothes, but he is surprised when he took off Horn's pants, and he can't find Horn's carrot. Diablo wonders what kind of boy Horn is since he can't find the carrot and wonders where it has gone to. When he goes deep, he finds that Horn is a girl and jumps away while screaming. Horn wakes up wondering what Diablo is doing. She thought that Diablo wanted to taste the cook, but Diablo explains why. Horn reveals that she is a girl who dresses like a boy. She reveals that girls are taken for granted in her kingdom, and she wanted to prove that girls are also strong like boys. Diablo gives her his coat to cover her body, and they decided to find the girls before Gewalt finds them. Meanwhile, Rem, Shiro, and Lumikina have arrived at the most challenging floor of the dungeon. To their surprise, Gewalt arrives, and they wonder how since he got lost inside the river. Gewalt told them that their time is up and Demon King Diablo will come and find their dead bodies. But a black dragon arrives and draws Gewalt's attention away. The dragon manages to injure Lumikina, but Gewalt uses his healing power to heal Lumikina. He fights with the dragon using the fire spirit called Ifrit. He attacks with ultimate fire that blasts the dragon, but it was not enough, and he ends up getting injured. The dragon tries to flee, but the maid golem Rose arrives and kills it for running away from the battle. She comments that the dragon is a coward for trying to escape from the war. Diablo arrives, and Rose considers him as her master while in the treasure room. When they arrive inside the treasure room, Lumikina finds a white ox statue that she touched, and the death knell disappears. Rose offered them new clothes and told them about Verignis's army that is attacking Zircon Tower City. Zircon Tower City's defenders are no match for Verignis' army except for Faunis. Verignis and his wives, a mermaid, a harpy, and a dragon-like banshee appear and attempt to force Faunis to marry him. Faunis shoots him through the heart, but the mermaid heals him. The harpy becomes jealous and attempts to kill Faunis. Diablo takes offense to Verignis saying he is working for a demon lord, so his group, including Rose, teleport back in time to save Faunis. Diablo, Shiro, Rem, and Rose battle the army while Lumikina heals the injured with Horn assisting her. Diablo is enraged when he sees Verignis flaunting his wives as it reminds him of how he was unable to get a girlfriend in real life. He engages them and quickly kills the wives. Enraged, Verignis attacks but is no match. Diablo kills him while declaring himself the true demon lord. With the battle won, Faunis holds a feast in celebration. On the way to the feast, Horn is intercepted by bullies who beat her up and ridicule her and her friends, saying they don't believe Diablo actually saved the city. Diablo rescues her and beats up the bullies. As he carries the injured Horn, she laments that she is so weak, but he says that is okay and she can stay with his group. Diablo wonders how he can start to do it with Faunis, but Faunis took in charge, and she began to massage him, and the trains hit the rail. Faunis entertained Diablo in a way that he didn't want to leave Zircon City. In the morning, she gave him a 2-minute noodle, and he heads out with his crew. Horn told the team that they are heading to the royal capital as soon as everyone is ready. Diablo comments that they must first look for a carriage. Rem comments that she make arrangements for that. Lumikina arrives and comments that she is also heading to the royal capital. She reveals that she is yearning to visit the people of the church. Rem reminds her that she is being targeted by the cardinals who control the church. Rem thinks that the priest here might turn out to be an enemy. Lumikina is worried that the battle against the fallen has left many people injured, and she wants to heal them. Shiro agrees with Lumikina and volunteers to show Lumikina the way to the church. A hero of the town appears and comments that if a woman needs to be protected, they can leave it to him. The guy reveals that he is Emil Bichelberger, who is an ally to all women and an ally to allies of women. Lumikina accepted Emil's offer but another lady appears. The lady told Emil that he couldn't take a quest in the middle of another quest. The lady is revealed to be the guildmaster. Emil replies that he is protecting women, and it is the highest priority. She reminds Emil that he is in the middle of sword training. Rem realizes that she knows this lady and calls her Sylvie. Sylvie welcomes them. and she seems to know all members of Diablo's crew. She comments that Diablo is always surrounded by women. Diablo replies that there is a reason for that. They both head to the bakery and enjoy eating snacks. Later Diablo fights with the goons that come from the Mismos family. A mysterious lady appeared and wanted to kill the goons for defying the Demon Lord. Diablo decides to punish the goons with an attack called Explosion. After pulverizing the goons, they got arrested and wonders what kind of magic the Demon Lord possesses. They enter the castle looking for Mismos, and the mighty punk told them first to beat him, and he will tell them where the boss is. The punk got defeated after being kicked by a lady below his belt. They met with Mismos and enjoyed eating cookies after giving some explanation. They told Diablo to visit again and Celestine Baudelaire. The group arrives at the royal capital Seven Wall, and are accosted by guards. But Alicia Christella arrives and dismisses the guards, then lets them into an inn she owns. Rose becomes jealous, but relents when Alicia says she would willingly die for Diablo. As they eat, Horn says she wants to be stronger. Rose presents a slave collar and says if Horn wears it and makes a master-servant contract with Diablo, his power will flow into her. But Rem and Shira warn that if Diablo dies, she will die, plus other demerits of wearing a collar, so she refuses. After explaining to Alicia what is going on, she agrees to investigate the head cardinal, Vishos, but warns that the law cannot touch the church. That night, Rose asks Diablo to recharge her magical energy, and he is embarrassed when this involves touching her intimately. The next day, Alicia presents evidence that Vishos and his followers have embezzled funds from the church and have murdered several people. Alicia wants Diablo to destroy the church, but Lumikina insists on presenting the evidence so she can excommunicate Vishos and his followers. The group bids Alicia goodbye and goes to the city's holy ground, finding a ground-based church and a massive floating church in the sky. When Vishos appears, Lumikina denounces his crimes and orders him excommunicated. But he counters by accusing her of lying and of neglecting her duties and orders the group seized. His guards and the worshippers believe him and attack the group. Horn gives in to fear, manages to escape, and runs away. Lumikina asks the group not to fight as blood cannot be spilled on holy ground, so they surrender and are transported via a levitating platform to the floating church. Lumikina is separated from the others and sentenced to execution. Diablo orders the others not to escape because Lumikina asked them not to. Horn inadvertently activates a holy grail she took from Diablo's dungeon and a tiny fairy-like girl named Babylon appears. She explains she appears to those who offer blood to the grail and an embarrassed Horn remembers urinating in it and decides not to tell her. Babylon offers to make Horn stronger, but her spell doesn't work. With little options, Horn puts on the collar. Babylon helps instruct her on her new powers like bewitching men to fall in love with her as they infiltrate the floating church. Just as she reaches the group's cell, a paladin attacks and injures her. Enraged, Diablo breaks down the door. Horn is disappointed that they could have escaped on their own and so she tied her life to Diablo's for nothing. But Diablo thanks her for snapping him out of his foolishness in obeying Lumikina. As he is a demon lord and obeys no one, he gives Horn a healing potion, then defeats the paladin after a little difficulty. Diablo flies outside and bombards the church with lightning while demanding Lumikina. When she is presented by guards, he sentences the worshippers to death. His plan being that Lumikina will rebuke him to save them and then he will pretend to fall to make Lumikina a hero. His plan goes awry when Lumikina agrees with God to smite everyone, believing the worthy will go to heaven. Suddenly, Vishos unleashes a giant monster called Europa. Vishos merges with Europa and boasts that he is a god, then starts smashing the church while trying to kill Lumikina. Diablo learns he is protected by a force field, so he asks Lumikina to cast a spell to destroy the force field, but must protect her as it takes a long time to cast. Rose tries to help, but Vishos destroys her arm. Lumikina casts the spell, but Vishos resists it until the worshippers pray for her, empowering her and allowing the spell to work. With the force field gone, Diablo easily vaporizes Europa and Vishos, but to his chagrin, the worshippers start calling him God. Rem investigates the inside of the church and discovers that Gewalt, out of gratitude for Lumikina healing him, has resigned from the paladins and killed Visho's guards, then presents the key to the cell of Lumikina's friend Tria so they can free her. Lumikina decides to stay and repair both the church and its reputation, aware she must also investigate Visho's connections. Diablo finally convinces Lumikina that he is not God, but she is grateful for his help nonetheless. Horn and Babylon decide to stay in Seven Wall so Horn can study magic, and Alicia takes them in. Rose is repaired and the group returns to Faltra. When Fanis learns what Diablo has done, she decides to visit Faltra to try to seduce him again. Shira brings up the ring she took from Diablo's dungeon and he is embarrassed when Rose points out it signifies marriage. Rem becomes jealous, so he says they will go on a quest to find another ring for her. And this brings the anime to an end. Comment for part 5. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, take care.